For decades, Hollywood has lied to you about how laser weapons work. They taught you that a laser is a glowing red beam of light. They taught you that it makes a loud, terrifying sound. And they taught you that if you are fast enough, you can dodge it. But the United States military has finally deployed real-world directed energy weapons. And the classified truth is far more terrifying than the movies. Look at the DE M-SHORAD laser system. When the gunner pulls the trigger, there is no glowing beam. There is no loud explosion. Because military lasers fire in the infrared spectrum. They are completely invisible to the human eye. They are absolutely silent. And because the beam is made of pure light, it travels at 186,000 miles per second. You cannot see it. You cannot hear it. You cannot outrun it. By the time you realize you are being shot at, you are already melting. But how does an invisible beam of light physically destroy a thick piece of flying steel? To destroy a supersonic missile, military engineers had to stop thinking about bullets and start thinking about thermodynamics. So, the testing began. Hypothesis 1. Treat the laser exactly like a bullet. Fire a massive, split-second burst of light to punch a physical hole through the metal. The result? Total and absolute failure. Light has absolutely zero mass. It does not carry kinetic energy. You cannot punch a physical hole with photons. If the enemy missile is painted white or has a polished metal surface, the split-second flash of light simply reflects off the hull. The missile survives. The base is destroyed. Hypothesis 2. Use a massive, sustained laser to just burn the nose of the missile and detonate the warhead. This is highly logical, but completely useless. Modern missiles fly at supersonic speeds. The sheer friction of the air already heats the nose of the missile to hundreds of degrees. They are covered in heavy, heat-resistant thermal shielding. If you shine a laser at the thickest part of the armor, it will just absorb the heat. The ultimate solution required the laser to act exactly like a microscopic scalpel. Enter dwell time. A laser does not punch. It melts. But to melt a missile moving at 2,000 miles per hour, the laser cannot just hit the target. It must stay perfectly locked onto the exact same millimeter of metal for several consecutive seconds. This requires a highly classified artificial intelligence tracking system that predicts the exact flight path of the target. The laser ignores the thick armor on the front. Instead, it targets the weakest, most vulnerable points. A microscopic fuel line, a tiny aerodynamic steering fin, an exposed rotor blade. It acts exactly like a magnifying glass burning a dry leaf, but scaled up to 50,000 watts. The invisible beam holds its focus, relentlessly heating that single tiny spot until the metal turns to liquid. The steering fins warp. The internal electronics melt. The target does not even need to explode. It simply breaks apart in mid-air, destroyed by its own aerodynamic forces. It is the ultimate clean kill, infinite ammunition, deployed at the speed of light. The mainstream media gives you propaganda. We give you the engineering. No fluff, no filler. Hit subscribe and join the briefing. But speaking of terrifying base defense systems, we just looked at a weapon of absolute silence. But the last line of defense for a $20 billion aircraft carrier is a machine of absolute chaos. Look at the Phalanx CIWS. The troops call it R2-D2 with a chainsaw. It is a completely autonomous robot, armed with a massive 20mm Gatling gun. It fires 4,500 rounds of depleted uranium every single minute. When a supersonic anti-ship missile breaks through the radar, this machine does not aim. It simply builds a physical wall of lead in the sky and dares the missile to fly through it. And the terrifying reason why humans are legally not allowed to pull the trigger will completely blow your mind.